Good morning. It is prompt number 5 or question number 5 on the Wise Witch's House hashtag Bewitched Seasonal Spread Challenge. So if you've been following along, if not, I will link the video playlist down below. And if you wish to download this PDF and play along with me, and I'd love to hear your responses. Even if you're not on YouTube, you can put photos of your spreads without any explanations of your private text onto Instagram with the hashtag, and I'll probably find it and see it there, because I'm doing the same thing. I'm not actually typing out what's going on in my spread. I'm just showing the pictures of the cards in their spreads and the prompt that goes with it. Or you can put it in comments down below. Like, let me know how you're getting on, guys, because I'd love to know. I really, really would love to know. 5 today is a pokey one, isn't it? So prompt number 5 is the viewing platform. So how do I judge others? Count the ways. Select as many or as few cards as you feel drawn to put down. And then the secondary prompt for your crafting or journaling or your witchy ways is suggested. So do a little shadow work of journaling. Where does the judgment come from that you feel within? What is triggering you to judge others? Recognition is key to changing our patterns and being able to stop some of these negative traits before they cause us to feel resentful or even say things that we may not truly mean in the heat of the moment. And I think you all have been there with me, because there's nothing worse than the regret from the heat of the moment. So that's the question. And prompt number 5, the viewing platform, is here. So on my witchy house, this is actually a cutout, so it's like a little balconette, because you can see that's supposed to be binoculars on the viewing platform, where the wise witch may stand and view the muggles attempting to come up her path or break through her boundaries or come up through her gates, or who's actually just attending from afar, perhaps. So because she lives a solitary life, so I thought it'd be fun to have a little viewing platform on there. So I have actually written on here, look, judging muggles, just a little bit of fun. So I've had to think about this, as you would expect me to. We are now into October, and as I said, I've split this up. I'm doing it more as a challenge, as I feel called to do it. So every couple of days I'm doing a question rather than doing an entire big spread. And here's the kind of mood that I'm in, very somber. So I've got my book out, and I actually got my Poe deck out upstairs as well, but I'm not using that today. But I plan on reading this one after I've done this. So I've had a little think. I pulled out 3 tarot decks. So I've brought the Hush Tarot in, which is one of the very few decks I've actually assigned a specific task to, and this is my Shadow Work deck. I have brought the Beloved Dead Oracle in, because I haven't used it really, and I want to use it, so I thought we'd see what we're doing. And I've brought the Skeleton Diary, or Diary of Skeleton, in. So that one. The Hush and the Beloved Dead, for those who would like to see the visuals for the boxes. Okay. And I use the book with this one every time, because this book, although it's tiny, it's mighty. It does kind of... Jeremy did a very good job of picking the underlayers of the decaying items in the book, basically, to poke at your psyche. So that is why I like that one so much. And I do have the book for this deck, because obviously I haven't used it properly. And although they have good keywords on them, Limelight, so this is why I think I'm trying to use it, is because of the keywords. And you'll see why, because I've made a spread to go within my spread from the spread that were in my journal. And on the last video, or one of the last videos, I talked about maybe utilising Lisa Papez's Shadow Work spread, or this one, which I wasn't sure where it came from, but it actually worked out. It was from, I created the spread prompts from the cards that I dropped down. So I dropped the cards down and then made my spread prompts and answered my questions from what I put down, because I didn't have a question at the time. So it came from intuitive reading. So I'm kind of recycling part of this into my question. So that's where we're at with this one today. That was one I found in 2022. And what I've decided to do is, so how do I judge others? So I've scribbled down, how do I judge others for that first part of the question? So something to show externally, 3 cards. So I thought we'd do that with the Oracle and try the keywords and see what they give us. Then I want a tarot card to illuminate the Oracle card, what's actually going on. So I thought then I would use the skeleton to illuminate the skeleton, see what's going on, see the skeleton in the closet. And then to journal it, what is actually going on, other thoughts to expand on the spread, is what I thought I would do. Rather than just journaling the question. So you've got the journal prompts on the paper if you want to just journal, or I've decided to do it with cards. So I've changed my journal prompt slightly for my cards, and that's when I'll move into Hush Tarot, which will be what keeps repeating here, what cycle or pattern is it. So I'll try this one, and the action required to move forward from the repetition. So I'll put 2 more cards down to expand on my spread. So it'll basically be 4 cards to answer each question. So it's going to look a little bit complex, yes, I agree. And you don't have to do this. You can just do 1 card, 2 cards, or 1 card per whatever you think trait that you've got, and then just list your traits and journal on them. Absolutely. So let's just we're playing here, so we'll see where this goes, because I know some of us love to expand and overcomplicate. And me here, same. So I'm going to do 3 cards. I just want to see 3 ways in which I judge muggles. Right, Harry Potter has a lot to live up to, giving us that word or answer to. So I don't know how well these are shuffled. I'm not sure if they are shuffled well. I'm just going to pause camera while I get them well shuffled. Right, I've brought you out, so hopefully this is going to work and you can see everything that's going on. You can even see my coffee. So I've got 3 cards. And I'm just going to come back up in a minute and check my boundaries with you to see that we're on screen. So, how do I judge? They give me 3 cards for how I judge others. What ways do I judge others? And you know, with the Queen of Swords tongue, there's going to be a few judges. Service. Okay. That one wants to come out. Wanted. Okay, that one wants to come out. Forgiveness and faith, acts of love. Okay. Yep, so we're on screen. We are on track. Right. And then we want to know. Oops, I'll just flip a card. This deck flips really easily because it's so cute and small. So then I want to illuminate. So tell me how I judge people on service. I mean, I already know the answer to that. So we've got the star. And the haunted. How do I judge others being haunted? Okay, and acts of faith. Tell me about the acts of faith. The Fool. Okay, so first things, like I'll just run through thoughts here. I will deeply journal this afterwards. I'm not going to go through the deep journaling of this with you. Service. Let's just look at the book firstly to see what service says, because I've already kind of got an intuitive hit on what I think service means to me. So let's just see what the book says first. Sirens blaring and lights flashing. When service arrives in a spread, it brings a message that help has arrived. It goes without saying that this card resonates with the expertise, dedication, bravery of the first responders and rescuers, as well as fire emergency medical, blah, blah, blah. The beloved dead know that to truly be in service, you devote to something that's bigger than yourself. It's the clarion call to duty, even if it's personally inconvenient. Yeah, that was basically where I was thinking. So I was thinking I do judge people around me, so especially if I'm in work or people in the same situations as me, where I think we're on an equal footing, and then I realise that they're perhaps not as free giving with their time or their care, or there's something about them that isn't quite authentic in the service in which they're giving. So they are only doing something to get something back, not doing it out of the pure goodness of their heart, if that makes sense. That's what that was evoking in me. And then we have the star with that kind of hope, because every time somebody comes to help or do something, or serve to do something, I always have that yep, this is the time it's going to be good, it's going to be okay, and then something happens and they let you down. For instance, you're getting towards the end of your working day, you haven't completed your workload, but there's a task that's going to take you well and truly beyond your working time limit, and you aren't allowed to take your time back. So if you work beyond your time limit, that's just on you, that's your onus, So somebody comes and offers you help, and then half an hour before the time is up, they've started you down a project which actually now is taking you twice as long as you thought it was going to take. And then they walk off because they're like, oh, I'm sorry, time constraint, I need to leave. And then they walk off and leave you to deal with it. That's an example of something, I experience it all the time, but that would be one of those examples where then I'm like, I do judge people about the service that they're offering me, or the help that they're coming to offer, regardless of how or where it's coming from. It's the genuine aspects behind it for me. Are they actually genuinely helping me to see me through this? Or, are they only giving, like we say, only give as much as you can. But if they hadn't done that, I wouldn't have been in a situation where I have to work late for free, because it would just be moved over to the next day. Because sometimes there are things where you start them and they have to be finished. You can't stop them. So I would have been better off not being offered the help and keeping it for the next day, and that person actually being honest and realising that the task ahead was too big and the 2 of us couldn't manage it in that time frame. And that would have helped me more than being left, kind of high and dry by that person. So that's what I'm thinking with service. Let's just take a look at haunted, because that's curious, very curious, especially with the 5 of Swords. Haunted. Unlike Casper, not all ghosts are friendly, particularly when they are metaphoric ghosts in our inherited past. While this card might be confirming quite literally that something's going bump in the night or day, it also asks you to shine a light on your shadow, an old wound, memory, or persistent trouble. Haunted presents when there is a disturbance of your inner peace. Very true. I've got a very big disturbance of my inner peace at the moment, so that's quite interesting. He's come out. It could be that you're ill at ease with status quo or emotions and thoughts may be running amok. That reminds me of Sarah Jessica Parker in that film. Amok, we're running amok. Keeping you from restorative R&R. In any case, the haunting in your house needs to be told. Who's the boss? Regaining mastery of an intuition and the narrative helps cleanse this oppressive feeling and rising. Okay, so I have, probably based on this really, I have this already innate kind of guard up about somebody coming to help me and how I'm judging people. So I already have my guard up before somebody can come and help me because it's from a past oppression, something that I've done. So that does need a definite little look into, what is that pattern? Why does it provoke me so? Regaining mastery of a situation of your own narrative helps cleanse this oppressive feeling. Yet remember, you can always connect with your own spirit team and ask for guidance. Who are you going to call? That's right, the beloved dead. We've got a little bit of humour in here. And then the third way, we've got the act of love, forgiveness and faith. So let's just see what that one says. And interesting, we have the fool there with it as well, because to forgive somebody is a leap of faith, right? Observation, here and now, objectivity, forgiveness and faith. So the acts of love are different cards and they sit at the front of the book for this one. You have no control over someone else's heart or choices. So stop trying is what it's telling me. It's telling me to turn the page. Stop trying and turn the page. Got it. I don't need to read that one. Okay, so what is actually going on? So I would like to know, please, what is it about service and the star that keeps repeating? So I've got one that's going on. I'm shuffling upside down, probably. So charity, right? The charity aspect of the service is being given and the hope that they're doing it to help and not hinder. Action required to move on from this repetition. I don't think that's a Hush Tarot deck. I think that's going to be a different deck again. Okay. We'll do that in a second. So what keeps repeating, what cycles and patterns with regards to the haunting? So it's about the haunting and the Five of Swords. What keeps repeating? Oh, that's so interesting. Five of Swords again. Obstacles. And then for the acts of kindness and the Fool, I'm just telling you about this cycle that repeats underneath, the underlying cycle repeating underneath the acts of kindness and the Fool. My inability to the Moon. All right. So for the actions required to move on, so I want some action steps on these. What should we go with? I've got a few sat beside me. I keep going to Halloween Tarot. You could use an affirmation deck here as well, by the way. All right. So the extra deck in the pack is that one. So we've got action required to move on from this repetitive cycle of the Six of Pentacles. The Sun, so need to be positive about what's going on, having a more positive attitude to reflect what's around me. I have never noticed the little purple heads in this before. They're hilarious. Actions required to move on from the repetition of the Five of Swords. Knight of Pumpkins. And then actions required to move on from the repetitive cycle of the Moon. The Half Illuminations, the Hidden King of Ghosts, which I think is Air Swords. King of Swords, Mastery. I'm sorry, microphone's miles away. I forget you're all the way up there today and I can't, you probably can't hear me. So let's just have a look at what we got. So hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea of what's going on. I'm now going to bring you back down and we're going to stick this into my digital journal. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we're back into my digital journals. Let me just find my Note Shelf app. So that's a free one on Play. I'm going to go to my digital Deacon Journey journal from, no we're not, from Amethyst Ascension. We're going to go to my digital journal from Amethyst Ascension. I've got some pages pre-set up in here. So the bits that I've copied down are where I have the text for the decks I've used and the prompt for Bewitched Seasonal Spread. So we're here. And what I want to do is change my decks to the Beloved Dead Oracle. Diary of Skeleton. Tarot. And we have Hush Tarot. And we have, it's Halloween, isn't it? Oops. Oh dear. Press the right buttons. Halloween Tarot. Okay, so you might not be able to see that, but that's just typed in across there. Now then, I do need to put my prompt 5 onto here. Just see how we've been doing this. Yep, okay. Just lost my prompt. Text box. So 5. is the viewing platform. How do I judge others? Count the ways. Select as many or as few cards as you are drawn to. As few cards as you are drawn to. Select as many or as few cards as you want to. As you feel drawn to. So we can't really see the text on here, so I'm going to maybe change the colour, see if we can. Let's do shadow work prompt. So I'm not going to type the whole thing out because I'm just going to say, where does the judgment come from? What triggers me to judge others? Okay, so that's those. And then I want to add my spread. Let's bring my photo in of my spread. So I readjusted it slightly, knowing that it's got to fit on here. Do it like this. I quite liked the idea of having the dark background for this one. So I wanted to keep the moon aspect there with the water and the tree kind of hiding in the background. But I couldn't be bothered to, so I could have individually taken all the pictures of the cards, cropped them all down, and then I could move them all around this and have more of the picture shown behind. So I've just decided to do it like this for speed. Then on this side of the page, I'm going to pop these on. How do I judge others? Should we put one in there actually? So that's my first row, yeah. Second card. A card to show how I judge others. Oh, let's come down a bit, 3. Let's do the shadow work prompts, yeah. So row 3. What keeps repeating here, the cycle or pattern? Action required to move on from this repetitive cycle. Okay, so we can move that up to here. We can make the box a bit bigger now. Oh, it's so frustrating sometimes. No, let me do it. We'll do it that way then. So that gives me space to type in. Oops. Okay, so I can type in my answers there. I can't change the text actually because that will make it. I was going to make these shadow work prompts bold, but I can't do that because it'll change everything into bold, so I don't want that. So we can just do it that way, and then I can just type in my answers as I go. Right, well, thank you for joining me on the prompt 5. Like I say, I don't expect you to divulge everything from what you've got going on here, but I'd love to hear maybe how you've approached this prompt or this question. Have you just gone straight for the shadow work journaling? Because I think that with hopefully the questions I put there, you could just do this on a journaling basis if you wanted to, especially if you already have a matter in hand that you know that you'd like to explore or that's been bugging you. So yeah, please do join in with hashtag then. So hashtag bewitched seasonal spread. Tag me at Antoinette Tarot. And again, you can do this on Instagram as well. I'll be most appreciative, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.